ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Greater circulation. So what is the pulmonary circulation with which that is gets begin, with which that is gets ends is very important in the objective. Just assume this is the right atria, this is the left atria, this is the right ventricle, this is right ventricle, this is the left ventricle, this is the right atria, this is the left atria. Again, so this pulmonary circulation is begins with the left ventricle. From the left ventricle, what is the arch which is arises? Pulmonary arch. This is the pulmonary arch that is arises. At first, from the right ventricle, deoxygenated blood is pumped into the pulmonary arch. This pulmonary arch is later divides into two pulmonary arteries. This is the pulmonary artery. Through the pulmonary artery, deoxygenated blood is circulated. This is exception. Though in all kind of the arteries, oxygenated blood is circulated, but exception case is that through the pulmonary artery, deoxygenated blood is circulated. Just assume these are the lungs. This pulmonary artery pump deoxygenated blood to lungs. Definitely, both the sides of the pulmonary arteries pump the deoxygenated blood to lungs for purification. This is said to be as the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary arteries, they are two in number. So definitely pulmonary arteries always carries deoxygenated blood to the lung for purification. Though all kinds of the arteries are with the oxygenated blood, though all kind of the arteries are with oxygenated blood, but exception case is that this pulmonary arteries are with the deoxygenated blood. They supply the deoxygenated blood to the lung for purification. Again from the lungs, 4 pulmonary veins. 4 pulmonary veins carries oxygenated blood into the left atria. Definitely these are the pulmonary veins. Pulmonary veins, they are 4 in number. So all kinds of veins are with the deoxygenated blood. Though all kind of the veins are with the deoxygenated blood, but exception is that in pulmonary veins, oxygenated blood is present. That is exception. Though all kind of the arteries are with the oxygenated blood, but pulmonary arteries are with the deoxygenated blood. Though all kind of the veins are with the deoxygenated blood, but pulmonary veins are with the oxygenated blood. That is exception. So definitely pulmonary circulation. What is the pulmonary circulation? What is the lesser circulation? Means from the right atria, at first deoxygenated blood is pumped into the pulmonary arch. from where that is reaches into the pulmonary artery, from where that is reaches to the lungs, where that is gets purified. Again from that kind of the lungs, oxygenated blood, purified blood. What is the meaning of the purification? In deoxygenated blood, CO2 which is present that is gets removed in lung and oxygen is added to the blood. That is said to be as the oxygenation of blood. That is said to be as the purification of blood. Purification of the blood is taken place in the lung. Means from the blood CO2 is gets removed, oxygen is added to the blood in lung. That oxygenated blood is later pumped into the left atria through 4 pulmonary veins. This route of circulation of the blood, from right ventricle to left atria, this route of the circulation of the blood through the lung from the right atria to left atria, this circulation is said to be as the pulmonary. This is the pulmonary circulation. This is the pulmonary circulation. Means pulmonary circulation is always begins with the right ventricle, ends with the left atria. Pulmonary circulation, that is the lesser circulation, begins with the right ventricle, ends with the left atria. Again, from the left atria, oxygenated blood is pumped into the left ventricle, from where this oxygenated blood is pumped into systemic arch. This is said to be as the systemic arch, from where that is gets reaches into arteries. These are the arteries. Through the arteries, blood is supplied to the body parts. So definitely through that kind of the arteries, oxygenated blood is supplied to the body parts, where in body parts oxygen which is present in the blood is diffuses into body parts, into tissue. CO2 which is present in the tissue is reaches to the blood. Similarly, nutrients which are present in the blood are diffuses into cells. Waste materials which are present in the cell is diffuses into blood. Means in the body parts, oxygen and CO2s are exchanges between the blood and tissue, and nutrients and wastes also gets exchanges. By that way, finally this blood is turns to deoxygenated blood. At the time of arriving of blood to the body part, that is rich with oxygen, rich with nutrients. But in the body parts, oxygen is diffuses into the cell, CO2 is diffuses from the cell into blood, oxygen from the blood is diffuses into cells, and CO2 from the cell is diffuses into blood. Similarly, nutrients which are present in the blood are diffuses into the tissue, and from the tissue wastes are reaches into blood. So in that way, in the body parts, CO2, O2, wastes and nutrients are gets exchanged between the blood and the body part. Finally, deoxygenated blood is gets formed in the body parts. The deoxygenated blood is gets later pumped into right atria through caval veins. Through the caval vein, this deoxygenated blood is again returned back to right atria. Deoxygenated blood is again pumped into the right atria from the body parts through caval vein. In that way, So from the left ventricle to right atria, from the left ventricle to right atria, this way of circulation through the body parts is said to be as the systemic circulation or greater circulation. This also called as the greater circulation. This systemic circulation begins with the left ventricle, ends with the right atria. In that way, from the left ventricle to right atria, through this route if the blood gets circulated, that kind of the route of the circulation of the blood from the left ventricle to right atria is said to be as the systemic circulation. So definitely this can be represented in the form of the schematic diagram. Both pulmonary circulations as well as this systemic circulations are represented in the form of the schematic diagram. So definitely first right ventricle, from the right ventricle blood is pumped into pulmonary arch, from where that is reaches to the pulmonary arteries. They are two in number. From where blood is reaches to, from where blood is reaches to lungs, from where through pulmonary veins, they are four in number, blood is reaches to left atrium. This is the pulmonary circulation pathway. So definitely from the left atria, blood is reaches to the left ventricle. From the left ventricle, blood is reaches into the systemic arch. From the systemic arch, blood is pumped to the body parts. Again from the body parts through caval veins, blood is reaches to the right atrium. So this is said to be as the systemic circulation route. Very important in NEET examination point of view. What is the route of pulmonary circulation? What is the route of the systemic circulation is very important. Pulmonary circulation route is right ventricle, pulmonary arch, pulmonary arteries, they are two in number, lungs, pulmonary veins, they are four in number, from where blood is reaches into the left atria. Again from the left atria, blood is pumped into the left ventricle, means systemic circulation begins with the left ventricle. Pulmonary circulation begins with right ventricle, ends with the left atria. Systemic circulation begins with the left ventricle, ends with the right atria. What is the systemic circulation route means? From left ventricle, blood is reaches into the systemic arch, from where that is reaches to body parts, from where that is reaches to caval vein, from where that is reaches to the right atria. Again from the right atria, blood is pumped into the right ventricle. In this case, the upper one is the pulmonary circulation route, lower one is the systemic circulation. Lower one is the systemic circulation route. This is the double circulation. Next to portal vein and coronary circulation. Next to continuous topic is the portal vein and coronary circulation. Before going to the coronary circulation, portal vein. What type of the portal vein is associated to circulatory system of the human? What kind of the portal vein is present means, just assume this is the digestive system of person, this is the alimentary canal, this is the alimentary canal of the person. So definitely from the intestine, specifically from the intestine, several blood capillaries are arises. All that blood capillaries are finally aggregated and form a blood vessel. That blood vessel finally terminated inside of liver with capillaries. That blood vessel finally terminated inside of the liver with capillaries. Any type of the blood vessel, if it is begins with the capillary, ends with the capillary, then that is said to be as the portal vein. Definitely, any type of the blood vessel, if it is begins with the capillary, ends with the capillary, then that blood vessel is said to be as the portal vein. But here, if this blood vessel is terminated in liver, if this blood vessel is terminated in liver with the capillary, then this portal vein is said to be as the hepatic portal vein. That is said to be as the hepatic portal vein. Means definitely capillaries which may be arises from the various parts of alimentary canal are united and form the portal vein. That portal vein is passes towards the liver. Inside of the liver, that will be terminated with the capillaries. So that only that is said to be as the hepatic portal vein. Because study of the liver is said to be as the hepatology. Hepatic, nothing but liver. Hepatology. So that only hepatic, nothing but liver. This portal vein, if it is terminated in liver with the capillary, then we can say that is the hepatic portal vein. So what is the significance of hepatic portal vein means? It carries digested food material into the liver from the alimentary canal. To transport digested food material into the liver at first, on or before release into the normal circulation, this hepatic portal vein is a lot useful. So it's principally useful to transport digested food material from the alimentary canal into the liver. So hepatic portal vein is only present in our body. Renal portal vein is not there. Renal portal vein is absent. Hepatic portal vein is present in the case of the human body. This is the portal vein. Next to coronary circulation. Next to coronary circulation. Coronary circulation. So what is the coronary circulation means? What are the blood vessels which are present in the wall of the heart? What kind of the blood vascular network is present in the heart wall is nothing but coronary circulation. So definitely in the heart wall, what type of the blood vessels are supplies the blood to the heart wall? What type of the blood vessels collect deoxygenated blood from the heart wall? That blood vessels network is together constitute coronary system. That is said to be as the coronary system. Again in coronary system, definitely to better call it as, this is the coronary system, nothing but the blood vessel network which is present in the heart wall, the blood vessels which maybe carries oxygenated blood to the heart wall, blood vessels which collect deoxygenated blood from the heart wall, together constitute this coronary system. Again in the heart wall, just assume these are the heart walls, these are the heart wall, this is the right atria, this is left atria, this is right ventricle, this is the left ventricle. So to the heart wall, two blood vessels, that is the coronary arteries. These are said to be as the coronary arteries. Coronary arteries, they are two in number, carries the oxygenated blood. They carries the oxygenated blood to the heart wall. Such blood vessels are said to be as the coronary arteries. The blood vessel which carries the oxygenated blood to the heart wall, that blood vessels are said to be as the coronary arteries. They are two in number. At the same time, from the heart wall, four blood vessels collect deoxygenated blood. Four blood vessels collect deoxygenated blood. That four blood vessels are said to be as the coronary veins. Definitely these are the pair of coronary veins. Totally they are four in number. These are two, these are also two. These are the two. So totally four coronary veins are aggregated and finally form coronary sinus. This is the one coronary vein, this is the one, this is the one, this is the one. Four coronary veins collect deoxygenated blood from the heart wall, and finally these four coronary veins are united and form the common blood vessel, that is the coronary sinus. That is said to be as the coronary sinus. The opening of coronary sinus is guarded with a valve, that is said to be as the Thebaceous valve. This valve is said to be as the Thebaceous valve. So the opening of the coronary sinus into right atria is guarded with a valve that is said to be as the Thebesius valve. So in that way, two coronary arteries supplies oxygenated blood to the heart wall. That blood vessels are said to be as the coronary artery. Means two coronary arteries always carries oxygenated blood to the heart wall. Again, four coronary veins collect deoxygenated blood from the heart wall. From both sides of the heart walls, four coronary veins collect the deoxygenated blood, and these four coronary veins are finally united and form the coronary sinus. That coronary sinus finally discharge collected deoxygenated blood into the right atria. Its opening is guarded with a valve that is said to be as the Thebesius valve. This coronary artery, coronary veins, coronary sinus together constitute coronary system. In the coronary system, two coronary arteries, four coronary veins, one coronary sinus are together constitute this coronary system. This is the coronary system. Next to regulation of cardiac functioning. Next one is the regulation of cardiac functioning. Regulation of cardiac functioning means cardiac function normally regulated itself. Means cardiac functioning regulation is intrinsic regulation. Intrinsic regulation. What is the intrinsic regulation means? In the heart of the person, the sinoatrial node which is present, that is auto-excitable, that itself without receiving external stimuli, that can be involved in the generation of the action potential for continuation of the heartbeat to maintain the normal heartbeat. In that way, if this nodal tissue part, that is the SCA node, which is located in right atrial wall, if it can be involved in regulation of the heartbeat itself, if it can be responsible for maintaining of the normal heartbeat rate, then that is said to be as the intrinsic regulation. Under the normal condition, but not in abnormal conditions, under the normal condition, this SCA node is responsible to maintain normal heartbeat rate itself. It can monitor, it can regulate it can maintain the normal heartbeat rate. So that is said to be as the intrinsic regulation. If this modified cardiac muscle tissue, that is the SCA node, if it can itself regulate heartbeat rate in normal condition, such heart is said to be as the myogenic heart. This heart is said to be as the myogenic heart. Human heart is said to be as the myogenic. Human heart is said to be as the myogenic heart. Means under the normal condition, this SCA node itself becomes excitable without receiving external stimuli, and it can be involved in the generation of action potential continuously to maintain the normal rate of the heartbeat. So that only this kind of the heart is said to be as the myogenic heart. Such regulation is said to be as the intrinsic regulation. But whenever the person is in emergency, whenever the person is with the abnormal in condition, during that to regulate the heartbeat, autonomic nervous system involved. Whenever the person is in abnormal condition, whenever the person is with vigorous anxiety or with emergency, during that to regulate the heartbeat, autonomic nervous system take part. Again in the autonomic nervous system, in autonomic nervous system, again two divisions are present. One is the sympathetic division, second one is the parasympathetic division. Parasympathetic division. So during the emergency, means whenever the person have to be, or whenever the person is with a severe tension, whenever the person is with a severe pressure, definitely during that heartbeat rate gets increases due to the involvement of the sympathetic division. So this sympathetic division always increases. It increases heartbeat rate. Definitely sympathetic division always increases. It increases heartbeat rate and force of contraction of ventricle. Definitely force of contraction of ventricle is also gets increases. Whenever the heartbeat rate is increases, whenever force of contraction of ventricle is increases, automatically stroke volume is increases. That finally leads to increased cardiac output also. Definitely if the heartbeat gets increases, thereby force of ventricular contraction is increases, at first stroke volume is increases, that must be leads to increased cardiac output also. Whenever the person recovered from the emergency, whenever the person reaches to the resting, during that to bring back the increased heartbeat to normal, what is the autonomic nervous system division which is useful, means that is the parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic division is responsible to decrease increased heartbeat rate during the emergency. Means whenever the person successfully escaped from the emergency, definitely whenever the person reaches to resting, during that definitely heartbeat rate, increased heartbeat rate have to be bring back to normal. So definitely to bring back the normal, what is the autonomic nervous system division which is helpful, means that is the parasympathetic division. It decreases heartbeat rate. Definitely decreases the increased heartbeat rate. By that way, it bring back the cardiac output, increased cardiac output to normal, increased stroke volume to the normal also. Similarly, what are the hormones which are responsible to increase the heartbeat rate, means What are the hormones which play a greater role to increase the heartbeat rate? Means adrenaline or epinephrine is the one hormone that increases the heartbeat rate. Second one is the noradrenaline or norepinephrine. Again, third one is thyroxine hormone also. So definitely adrenaline or epinephrine, noradrenaline or norepinephrine, adrenaline or epinephrine, noradrenaline or norepinephrine, thyroxine hormone. These three type of the hormones principally increases rate of the heartbeat. So whenever the person is in emergency case, for example, while you are appearing the NEET examination, when you are sitting the NEET examination, before giving the paper to you, definitely you are with the 10C, you must be with the 10C. So during that, what is the hormone which is releases? Means adrenaline or noradrenaline. So definitely this adrenaline or noradrenaline is responsible for increase the heartbeat rate. Whenever the persons are with vigorous anxiety, whenever the persons are with the emergency, during that definitely these hormones are gets releases. This kind of the hormones are responsible to increase the heartbeat rate in the person. This is the regulation of cardiac functioning. Next to blood vessel. Next to blood vessels. What are the blood vessels means? The tubular network which is present in our body, which is responsible for circulation of the blood throughout the body without leak to out, that blood capillary network is said to be as the blood vessel. So definitely in our body, closed type of the circulatory system is present. So that only blood is always circulated through the tubular like structures without getting leaking to the out. That kind of the tubular structures are said to be as the blood vessels. These blood vessels are principally are of various types. One is the arteries, second one is the arterioles, third one is the capillaries, fourth one is the venules, fifth one is the veins. So definitely how that kind of the blood capillary network is formed in our body, how that kind of the blood is gets circulated through that kind of the blood capillary network without getting leaking out means, just assume. So definitely this is the heart of the person. Again from the left ventricle, the blood vessel which is emerges is said to be as the systemic arch. Definitely systemic arch is gets divides into artery. These are the arteries. This arteries again near the tissue gets divides into arterioles, again arterioles gets divides into capillary inside of tissue. Inside of tissue, definitely arterioles are gets divided into fine branches. They are the capillaries. Again, all these capillaries are communicated with the venules. All these capillaries are communicated with the venules. These are the venules. Again, these venules are aggregated and form the veins. Certain blood vessels. This kind of the venules are gets aggregated and form the little bit big sized blood vessel. They are said to be as the veins. Again, veins are aggregated and form the little bit big sized caval veins. This is the caval vein. Again, this caval vein is gets opens into the right atrium. So, in that way, in the case of the human circulatory system, arteries are gets divided into arteriole, arterioles are divided into capillaries inside of the tissue. Definitely diameter of the artery is greater than diameter of arteriole. Diameter of arteriole is greater than diameter of capillary. Means as per the artery to capillary, diameter is progressively decreases. Definitely artery diameter is greater than arteriole. Arteriole diameter is greater than capillary. Means progressively this diameter is decreases from artery to capillary. Diameter from the artery to capillary is progressively decreases. Again, venules which are with very small diameter are aggregated to form the increased diameter of veins. Means diameter of the venule is less than diameter of vein. Diameter of the vein is less than diameter of caval vein. Means from the venules to the caval vein, diameter is progressively increases. Diameter from the venule to caval vein is progressively increases. Diameter from the artery to the capillary is progressively decreases. Again, these capillaries are principal sites for exchange of oxygen and nutrients with CO2 and waste of tissue. Definitely inside of the tissue, these capillaries are the principal sites for allowing the exchange of the O2 and CO2, exchange of the nutrients and waste between the blood and cell, between the blood and interstitial fluid. In that way, capillary network gets formed inside of the body. This is responsible for the continuous circulation of the blood without getting leaking of that kind of the blood into the tissue. Then what is the structure of artery? What is the structure of arteriole? I will continue in the next class.